Okay, so this is my fourth ICT literacy skills video. And I want to explain before I begin to talk about my sources that I used for this research post, that in my last post I explained that I would begin this post talking about solutions that have been tried to ameliorate the problem of MDR-TB in South Africa. And so in that last post, I used a source from the KwaZulu-Natal Research Institute for Tuberculosis and HIV as one of my main sources. And I had noticed that in doing that research for the history and the complexity of the issue, that while they had a lot of information about history and complexity, they also had a lot of information about solutions that had been tried in South Africa to try to fix the MDR-TB problem, or at least what kinds of treatment plans had already been put in place. So I went back to that website and got some information about vaccines and the difficulty in diagnosing TB and how countries like South Africa that have such high incidence rates and meager financial resources, how diagnosis is outdated and it takes so much time and it's so time consuming that many of the people can possibly die in between going in for the test and being diagnosed. So it's a huge issue, but I used that information about vaccines as a springboard for further information and inquiry in my research. So then I went to, I wanted to find out more about vaccines in South Africa and worldwide. So I searched in Google vaccines, tuberculosis, South Africa. And I found a news source from the Voice of America, which I know is a scholarly, substantive resource because the Voice of America is actually owned by the U.S. federal government, and it's a very trusted news source worldwide. So I used some information from an article off of that website. And it was actually a quote from someone who was involved with the South Africa Health Department. So I wanted to find out more about what South Africa, as a state, as a country, had done and what their treatment plans were. So I actually went to the Health Department's website and found out about what they are doing in terms of treatment plans and policy, and I found out that they've actually changed their policy with regard to treatment of TB, and they're decentralizing it. So it's becoming a very community-based approach. So in my research, I've really used throughout, not just this one post, but throughout all the posts that I've done, I've used one idea and one website or source that I know is reliable, and I've used those ideas as springboards to search for the idea that sparked my interest. And then I've found resources that have that information that are substantive, and I use Google Scholar as well. Another way that my ICT literacy skills are improving, I actually, just pulling out my iPad, I installed, I've been using Google Reader, so I actually have, I uploaded all of my classmates' blogs onto this Google Reader, so that now whenever they post something new or there's a new update to their blog, I can immediately see it. So I don't have to, manually go on my computer and search every single person's blog. Now it's right here for me. So I've definitely been taking advantage of my iPad and the technology that I've been given there. Also, with regard to taking advantage of the blogging medium, I've continued to hotlink my resources in a way that is integrated into the post. And I use the read more button so that it's not so overwhelming when you first see the post. And I would have used a graphic or video for this post as I've done in the past, because I think that shows that you take advantage of technology. But since I was analyzing solutions, I felt like they needed to be more fleshed out and explained in writing. So that's the reason that I didn't use a graphic, but I will continue to. So that's about it. And then in my next post, I'm going to examine the resources that South Africa has available to take care of this issue.